Hello guys and girls, this is my first video. It's a multi-purpose video. What I'm trying to achieve is teach you guys how to build a computer from the components upwards, and what exactly you will need. The machine that I am building is going to be a video management server. So this Western Digital purple drive, it's a 6 terabyte drive. This is just one of 10 drives or 9 drives that are going into this particular machine. The operating system will be running off this Intel 520 240 gig SATA drive SSD. We've got a server mount chassis that's in this box. I haven't opened it yet. I have opened the box, but I haven't quite taken it apart yet. Just gonna keep all these things safe for when I am transporting this machine to its location. Okay, so you're gonna set this down right here. You're gonna get rid of the plastic and get rid of let's take out the keys and let's put the plastic back in its bag. Is there a screw that went flying with it? Thank you. Not too sure where the screw quite fits in, but I will find the correct place for it. Let's open this chassis. Okay, on the front end we have 3 5.25 inch drive bays. As you can see, this one is a bit loose. We're not going to be using any of these bays. Maybe we might just to mount our SSD. These two fans are going to come out, and we're going to be using two Aerocool Shark high pressure fans. The reason for this is because we're going to be having so many drives behind this. We need maximum cooling for the drives to ensure the longevity of the drive. Sorry. So let's get to it. Okay, inside our rack mount chassis, we have your usual power switch, reset switch, power LED, hard drive LED, network interface card 1 and 2 LEDs, and your 2 front USBs. That's going to connect to your motherboard. Here we have a standard, well, it's not a standard, it's ATX, a full form ATX chassis. So our Z97 board is going to fit inside. Let's open this board up and see exactly where our mounting holes are. Here we have 2 SATA 3 cables, another 2 SATA 3 cables. This is what is this? This is a SATA power cable. I don't understand the reason for this. Oh, okay. So this takes your floppy drive power and sends it to a SATA drive. That's quite a nice thing to have. This is your back I/O shield, which is gonna go right here. Okay, have our CD with the software, all the documentation. Now let's get to the good stuff. Let's go past that. There's 2 screws here, which I'm not quite sure what they are for. That's what the manual is there for, but I generally don't go by the manual. Okay, there's a 3rd screw which is slightly smaller. Okay, and this just handed to me is what I would think would be an SLI or crossfire bridge. Okay, we'll open up that later. The screw here seems to be much smaller than the other two screws. We'll find out a little later what that screw is exactly for. Inside we have a very well packaged motherboard. You can see it's got foam protecting the components. We've got two Ethernet interfaces. One is an Intel Gigabit Ethernet and the other one is a ASRock Cloud. Not quite sure what that is for just yet. ASRock Cloud. Okay, let's get rid of any static electricity that could have built up on myself and handle the motherboard. Static electricity is your worst nightmare, and this silver or gray black looking bag is an anti-static bag. That is why components do come in this. Okay, I'm gonna set that back into the box. Okay, and that's time to pray. Okay, we'll get to that. I like to find the perfect heatsink to use to pick up the board, because this board seems to be covered in a lot of foam. I don't really want to touch the motherboard, but oh, it's actually cable tied. Oh, thank you, Tulise. So the cable ties. Okay, that's the first cable tie. Okay, we can throw that away, and this is the second one. Well, I have to hand it to ASRock for actually making sure that their motherboard doesn't get damaged in transit. Okay, it's the third one and the last one sitting over here. Thank you. Okay, so before we go ahead and install this board, I'm going to install the I/O shield, which I've set down over here, because it would be stupid to try and put it in any other time. So this is my first port of call to actually insert this. Okay, your audio is generally at the bottom of the board, and so are your graphics cards. So I know that the shield is going to go in this way, so I'm just going to pop it in there and gently push it in till it's all the clips clip in and it's nice and tight. Okay, now that your I/O shield is in, you can pick up the board. Let's pick it up like so. I just want to have one hand on the chassis for any static electricity. This chassis, as you can see, has your screw, your, I don't know what you call these, but they basically let you, they screw into your chassis, and your chassis may or may not come with that, but definitely you definitely need that to mount your motherboard to your chassis, whether your chassis stands upright or horizontal, as is in this case. You're going to need that. So what I'm about to check is that all my lines hold up. As I can see already that I need an extra screw here. That's one, and I'm going to need, let's see, that, put that down, in I/O shield. So we've got one there, one on this corner, this corner here, the center. So there's quite a few of these screws that I need to actually or possibly relocate. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 3 are mounted on this side. Okay, so this thing can take a board that's a lot bigger. I'm going to use a plier to actually turn these out, because they're actually a bit tight. So here goes. That's the first one. Now as I remove them, I'm gonna start inserting them for the right mounts. Okay, that's the first one. The second one needs to move directly there. Okay, I'll just loosen them and I'll tighten them shortly. Okay. Oh, still quite tight. Okay, that seems to have loosened up. Okay, so in line with this screw, I'm gonna mount the third screw, and I'm gonna have to pause this video to take a call. I'll be back in the next video. Thank you. Okay, sorry about all of that interruptions. Now that we have all 10 motherboard screws in place and we've checked that they are lined up, we're now ready to tighten and secure our motherboard in place. Okay, with that, I'm going to start with these two far end screws. I'm not going to tighten them too much in case I need to turn the board a bit, or if there's any adjustments that need to be made. I'm using a magnetic, yeah, it is a magnetic screwdriver, but the magnetism isn't the greatest. Gonna change my screwdriver quickly to something with a little bit more magnetism. This one looks like I need new screwdrivers. Okay, so that's the first one in. I'm not tightening it, as you can see. Into the second screw. Just place that down. Oopsie. There we go. That's the second one. That screw is up here. I'm going to turn it backwards just so I don't cross thread it. Okay, that's the third screw. I'm not tightening that too much so the board still has some wiggle room. Okay, fourth screw, gonna put it down there. Okay, that was fairly easy. Okay, that screw is fine. Okay, let's do the center screw. Okay, that's great. I've got 5 more screws to do. Okay, and that's cross threading, so I'm turning it backwards to get it in nice and straight. Okay. My body is still touching the chassis, as you can see. I'm resting my arm on it, so any static electricity is being discharged straight to the chassis. And Tulisa's hand from that side is touching the chassis, so he's touching metal and he's discharging the electricity. Normally I like to connect the power supply just to the main so that we know that it's got a ground and the static electricity is going somewhere, because we certainly don't want it to go to our board or any other component that we are going to be putting into this machine. And this would be our last screw, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, oopsie. A nice trick to use here is to put a bit of press stick on the head, so because generally when you're working with computers, you want screwdrivers that are not magnetic, because the hard drives are magnetic devices, and they're very sensitive to magnets. If you want to ruin your computer, take a magnet and stick it over your hard drive and see what you do. Okay, don't do that, really, you don't want to. Okay, so I'm not over tightening them. I don't want to crack the board or anything. I'm just, now that I know that they're all lined and they're all in, I can just do a final tightening. Can feel the board is nice and secure. Okay, the reason I chose this particular board, the ASRock Extreme 6 Z97 chipset, is that it has 10 SATA ports, and I need all 10 of these SATA ports due to the drives that are going to be populated in here. I'm sorry that the video is going to be a little upside down, but I'm standing on this side right now. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is try and manage these cables, because I want them out of my way. I think I'm gonna dismantle the front assembly of this, because I need to do that to install these two high pressure fans, and I'm not too sure if you can see it on this video, but they 120 millimeter 12 centimeter fans. This one is white, this one is orange. Unfortunately I couldn't get too white or too orange, so I just had to take what I got. I may change them later on, but I highly doubt it. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this video while I do this and change the fans, and when I come back to you, these fans should be installed and we'll be ready to start managing the cable for the power supply, because you want to manage your cables as much as possible so you don't have cables in a spider web inside to deal with. Thank you. Okay, so after literally stripping away the entire front of the chassis, here we have some super fan DC brushless fans, low noise, high quality, long life. I'm not so sure about that. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and change this. As you can see, I already have this one out. So okay, let's get my screws, just keep them safely. Okay, so I'm going to be replacing these two fans with the AeroCool Shark fans that I told you guys about. Okay. Okay guys, so I'm back. My GoPro seems to be falling off my head. What I've done or accomplished thus far is I've swapped out the stock fans for these two AeroCool Shark high pressure. You can see the amount of blades they have on them. I'm not even going to waste my time counting, but on this one you can see it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 max. Okay, inside I've managed the cables that the fans would run through between the hard drives and not under the hard drives. Although the cable is protected, I'm still going to go with some sort of cable management. The processor I'm going to leave for last. I haven't even got to the power supply yet, which is a AeroCool Strike X Army Edition 1100 watts 80 plus gold. So it's really power efficient, and in this day and age you should go with the good with a good power supply, because at the end of the day what you're doing is you putting the best of hardware. As you can see, this is a i7-4790K. I think this is it's one of the fastest. It's not the fastest consumer processors, but it's definitely one of the fastest ones in the i7. It's the fastest one in the i7, not the i7 Extreme. I'm sorry about my camera, really I am. I'm gonna have to do some minor modifications and get back to you. What I'm gonna do is also unbox this. I don't know whether I should unbox this on or off camera, but let me see how my GoPro is behaving and we'll take it from there. I'll catch you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like. Thumbs up if you like. Thanks. Bye.